While the Conservative leader focuses on clickbait and views, we're going to focus on building Canadians more homes.
That's right.
All right, I'm at the next location. You can see just behind me there, civilization. So we're heading down into the forest again. There's some grocery stores just over there, multiple ones. So this is a close location for anyone living down here. I should note there's a SPCA here. So I'm sure they hear the barking all the time. And I'm filming this on the day before Christmas Eve, the 23rd. So it's at least a couple hundred meters to get back in here. It's not like it's right off the road. Let's talk about the housing prices. So here in Port Alberni, back when I was living downtown Vancouver and I was living the good life, I was a lead artist at Microsoft. I'd moved around a lot, but in general, places were around $1,700 a month, and that's to live on like the 25th floor, Yaletown. If you know downtown Vancouver, that's right on the water there. That'd be a 1-bedroom plus den up on the 25th floor. Nice, beautiful location, $1,700 a month. At the same time, out here in Port Alberni on Vancouver Island, the middle of Timbuk nowhere, rental prices back then would have been about $600 a month out here. Today, the rental prices are $1,800 a month for the same sort of thing, which is crazy. We're in the middle of nowhere. Bridge trail here, because they've got a secret little spot they go down to. Out in the middle of nowhere, it's $1,800 a month. Like there's, aside from a few logging jobs, there's really gonna be no jobs in this town that can afford that salary, which is why you got people living in the woods. These are not people who are without a job. They just can't afford the exorbitant cost. So this is one camp here. So you can see here, there's a bunch of old bikes and, you know, just like, look, there's someone's bag of clothes. There's multiple bags of clothes. I don't know if someone's still out here because their stuff's getting wet, but, and you can see people just set up a tent right there. And then there are a couple hundred meters to walk into town. Let's just go down here a bit. So someone built a trail over here. It's like some little secret trail here that goes down to the water, which now that solves that question. How did they get water? Wow, this is steep though, man. This is crazy. Like, this is Canada. This is Canada. This is what people have to do to get water now. They sleep under a tree and they have to go down this. I wore my trail shoes because I knew this was gonna be gnarly.
On this side of the House, Mr. Speaker, we're focused on delivering solutions for Canadians.
So this is level, just so you guys know. So this is flat, and this is how steep that is. Oh man, I can see there's a bit of a side trail here because that is so steep. Oh dude. This is crazy, man. You can see there's fresh boot prints there. Somebody came down here, it looks like today. Something also to note, going through those sticks there's no spider webs on anything. Oh, I can see some tents down there. I'm gonna be a little more quiet now. Man, I feel bad just looking down. I can see a blue tent or tarp or something. So you can see remnants of something there. So I still don't know if there's people down here, but I can see at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 encampments down here. So somebody's got their bike right there. And that, you can see over here, where's it right there, there's an encampment. There's the green thing across the water there. Someone was living there, someone's living, or might still be living back there. And then there's at least 2 or 3 in the forest over here. Now, the friend who told me about this place has a property that's close to here. I was worried last summer because people would be burning trees down here, and once again, no one wants their house burned down. And this friend told me that there was a whole bunch of people right down here and they might be washed away. They might be forced out because of the high water. You can see there's a tent right here. This is a shredded tent. So I gotta get down there and then cross over, and then I can jump. Tricky to get over here. I can see another one over there. There's a blue tarp. Welcome to Canadian housing. Wow, man. I don't know if this is abandoned, or it's all sorts of poles and God knows what in here. There's just like all the sorts of weird things like this, you know. It's like a spray bottle there. So you can see, I won't be able to get over there, but there's another encampment over there where that log was. You can see here, there's a green thing in the middle, and there's also pink, just like shredded tents, basically. You've got, you know, lawn chairs and stuff. I mean, this is the remnants of someone's house. There's like a snuggy blanket here. You know, someone was forced out of their home, and this is, you know, it looks like they took all their camping stuff and just tried to set up a life out here. It's just, I want to see Justin Trudeau come out here and live like this for just a week and see how he feels. Or Karina Gould. Like, there's a kid's football right here. So here's another one just down the path. And you can see the same problem here that my friend was complaining about, you know, starting fires and then it starts to burn down the whole forest. Right, if you live just up, you know, up on the mountain here on the edge somewhere, like it doesn't feel good. Yeah, like this is right from a barbecue. There's a smartphone there, look at this. I have a whole other video that breaks this down, but by 2026, which is how they've got the immigration projected out, if the Liberals stay in power, we'll be at a deficit of 2,350,000 houses at 2026.
As for the difference between Canada and the United States, well, one of the differences is our population is growing much faster than the population growth in the United States. But I'm certain the leader of the opposition wasn't about to suggest he was anti-immigration, because we all know immigration creates jobs and prosperity, and that's what we're all for.
Try cramming 2.3 million people into a country that doesn't have houses for them. It ends up pushing all of the people with lower income onto the street or into their vans. And it's a sad thing too, because a lot of people, they're pushed into van life. And I've noticed, I've got van life videos on another channel. I've got another channel called I'd Rather Be Hiking, where I go hike mountains. And I do van life as a kind of temporary way to get out to some of these mountains. So I make a lot of those videos, and I noticed a huge uptick on those videos, which is sad, because it's obviously people getting pushed into their car, and they don't know how to build curtains for their car, and they need to do it really cheap. And I'm just someone who's really frugal who does that stuff. So I have a lot of solutions on there, and I have so many comments on there too. For this example specifically, car curtains are very expensive for vehicles, but I have a solution that costs you like $5 so you can make curtains, because you can't sleep in a vehicle in an urban setting if you don't have curtains. You just feel weird. People walk by and look in your vehicle and see you. So I'm sure there's a bunch of people who have kind of freaked out once it started getting cold, and they realized, oh, I need a diesel heater, I need this, I need that to sleep in my vehicle. You've got the nurses and contractors. You've got people building the houses who can't afford houses. It's just, this is crazy, man. We're gonna continue down the trail here. You can see here, like, just remnants. There's toothbrushes, there's stuff everywhere. There's, you know, this Coleman sleeping bag. Like, does this look like the stuff of a junkie? Like, there's, you know, this little, like, there's this Luigi here and a saw. Like, somebody had to move out of their house really quick, and then this is what ends up. Like, I don't get it. It's just all these clothes just left here. I just need to jump in here for a second and check myself. Unlike Justin Trudeau, if I've made a mistake or if I've come across new information, I will admit I'm wrong and further upgrade my knowledge and take responsibility for that. And in this case, later in part 2 of this series, you'll learn I talked to an intensive care nurse who tells me about the situation in the town. It turns out there's a lot of mental health and addiction problems in the town I live in. Now, some of these encampments down here might be from someone who has an addiction problem. So I don't want to dismiss it completely as they're all people who've been pushed out of their houses. But either way, they're all Canadians. They all should be taken care of. And Justin Trudeau's approach to this is to give out free drugs, which has been proven to make the problem worse, which is also something that this intensive care nurse told me directly, that this is something we should be doing the exact opposite of, which is exactly what Pierre Poilievre has put forward. We shouldn't be giving out free drugs hoping that it'll solve the problem, because really these people just go out and resell these drugs and then they still get their fix, and it makes the problem worse. It perpetuates it and makes it grow larger. So I just wanted to throw that in there real quick. Some of these might be junkies or people who have addiction problems. I didn't find like needles or I didn't see any needles down there, but you never know. I just wanted to be upfront about that. Yeah, there's just like packages of beans, and there's kids' shoes. There's a lot of bras in that one. So obviously this one seemed like it was potentially a single mother that's living out here with a kid or two. Meanwhile, our Prime Minister is jet-setting out with his kids, living a good life on vacation. Like, you'd think if he had half a heart, he would not go on vacation, take the savings of, because whenever he flies anywhere with his Secret Service or whatever, it costs us like $100 grand. And you could take that $100 grand and just go down to the streets and like you know, 100 people, give them $1,000 each. Just do something. That's such a loser running this country. It's unbelievable.
We're focused on building more housing for Canadians, not focused on self-aggrandizement like the Leader of the Opposition.
And you can see there's a bit of garbage. There's obviously more fires here. Someone was probably sleeping out here, kind of packed up and cleaned up after themselves, which is nice. Let's see here. So I don't see any over there. There's some more garbage over there, so I bet someone was living over there. Climbing over like 4 or 5 dead, wet trees just to get into your place to sleep in a tent in the freezing cold is brutal, man. It's like you can break your ankle doing that. It's sketchy. So this trail goes over here somewhere, and there's fresh boot prints in here. So somebody was just here not too long ago. Seems like people have moved out. Like, I don't know where they go. This is the most mild climate in Canada. So like, I don't know where they are. I don't know how it works, but yeah, there's another spot down here. Someone, you can see it's been disturbed land. People are down here. Someone was sleeping out here too. It is absolutely beautiful out here. So we get a good view of the other encampment. The green one from earlier, where is it? Right there. You guys can see that? It's just kind of in the middle there. You can see someone's clothes up on that log kind of right there. But this, at one point you could walk right through. I'm sure there's just a trickle, but now it's not passable. So I'm gonna head over to the forest now and check out those encampments. That one looked like it was the one with the most stuff. Maybe that other one's maybe bigger, but we'll see if that one's active. I'm not sure. Yeah, because maybe everyone moved on somewhere else. I'm not sure. Maybe they go down to the States or something. I don't know. I don't know how any of this works. There you go, Justin Trudeau. You got a mom and kid or kids living here. It must have taken days to get all this stuff out here. There's another side path here. This is like backcountry stuff I'm normally hiking. And for people doing this with chairs and camp, you know, stuff, sleeping bags full of stuff, clothes, kids stuff, trying to just live and have to do this is crazy. Oh, there's water down there, dang it. I should note too, so there's actually a crude trail they built across there, I know, believe it or not, and it goes along there. Let's see if I can get you guys an angle. Right, so let's see here. It goes through there and then steep up. I don't even know if I want to risk that. It's crazy, but I could see they're doing it as a way to get up. The other way is safer for sure. So if we just go through here, this is the other camp. There's remnants of something there. It looks like a tent. Something. This is crazy, man, even just to get here. So like, there's like a kid's toy right here. Like, this is heartbreaking, man. You see that right there? It's like some kid's little bike. It's like a little dirt bike. Like, we got someone running our country who doesn't care about people. Our own people. It just seems to be cares more about Ukraine. Yeah, another mom lived here. You can see bras and stuff here. Bikinis, and there's some medication. So there's like a container here. I'm just gonna leave everything be, but I don't know if there's anything in there or not. I can actually test it. Oh, that one's empty. There's some clothes here. It looks like a kid's shirt there. This is a jacket here, rain jacket. This is someone's, see this? That's someone's front doormat. Somebody was kicked out of their house and they just brought their front doormat here. Like,
we are there for investing in more housing.
Like, Justin Trudeau, man, loser, absolute loser. This doesn't have to happen. This didn't happen. You know, before when our immigration levels were about 240,000, 250,000 a year, and that's how many houses the builders were building in Canada, we didn't have this problem. You know, out in this town, Port Alberni, you could buy a house here for $100,000 just 5-6 years ago. And today, those same $100,000 are $500,000. That's what happens when you have too much immigration. You know, and I got no problem with immigration. We need immigrants, but we have to do it sustainably with the builders being able to build the houses first. Then you bring in the people, not the other way around, making your own people suffer. This should be a crime. Like, there's bras here. This obviously a mom and kid lived here. So I'm guessing a single mom and a kid couldn't afford it, so they just down here. I don't know where their tent would be. Probably right there. There's only flat spot. This is a brutal place to sleep. Not only that, it's dangerous. So like I mentioned earlier, I have another channel where I do hiking. I do backcountry stuff. I just put up my first descent with my buddy, actually 2 of them in September. That's when you're the first person or the first group ever to summit a mountain. So I have a lot of experience. This is what I do. I go, you know, trounce around through the bush and I climb peaks. And I just feel so, it just bothers me so much. Like, a mom and a kid coming down here, this is a dangerous place to be. Like, just the average person doesn't know how to navigate terrain like this. Let me just show you a quick example. So to get over there where their stuff is, they have to jump over one of these logs. And if we come up here and just look at this, so they've obviously, this is where they've stepped a lot, because, and then there's some broken spots there and stuff too. But if you step on this, this is like, if it's just a tiny bit wet and you step on that, your foot goes sliding out, and guess what? Your leg gets impaled and punctured with this broken branch that here, and there's one here too. It's easy to have a very serious injury. There's also another one here. Often you think like if you step on a tree, it'll be sturdy and stuff, but there's just a lot of rules like that in the woods where you can really hurt yourself badly and you didn't even know it was there. So you have all these people who probably have no experience in the bush, because it comes down to it, 99% of people just don't want to go bushwhack through this kind of stuff. And they're forced to live in situations like this. And they have no idea there's all sorts of widow makers back here, so a lot of these trees are dead. And well, the odds of them falling on you while you're walking through them is pretty low, as long as you don't touch them. If you're sleeping though, and there's a windstorm, one of these can come down, bang, and you're dead right in the middle of the night. And there's a whole bunch of things like this, and it's just, people shouldn't be pushed into a situation where they're sleeping in a little fabric tent in these kind of situations where it's just so inhospitable. Like there's a bike right here. There's a little shovel here. Like somebody tried to make a life here. You can just feel what these people were, you know, thinking. Like they're out in the woods, it's blowing. This area is the highest cougar population on planet Earth. There's cougars all the time. You rarely see a cougar, but you'll often see, like very often you'll see feathers, and you'll see like a line of them, basically like a bird or something trying to get away, a squirrel, and you see just a puff of stuff that's left over. When the cougar pounced on it, ripped it apart. And so like, imagine sleeping in this kind of situation. Any creak or crack can be a cougar coming to snatch your kid. Like it's just, or the person, you know, or the mother or the dad or whoever that's out here. And we got black bears out here. There's not many grizzlies, but there's more than enough stuff out here. The average person's not getting a good night's sleep out here. We need to head back up this steep thing, and we're gonna go check out another camp. And I'm gonna head over to near the golf course. Apparently there's another one over there, so we'll see if I can find that. This is one of the steepest trails I've ever gone up. This is crazy. Imagine taking your kid to walk on this to get home. Man, this is dangerous. You fall there, you are going to break a lot of stuff or go into the afterlife. So down there was at least 13 encampments that's left. I bet a lot of people were sleeping right on the riverbed when it was drier. Just getting back to the parking here, there's a guy past me with a bag of groceries walking into the woods. So he's either going down to that spot or maybe there's another spot. But nobody walks into the woods with a bag of groceries. Just sad, you know, he had a hoodie and he was all bundled up, and just, man, look what the government's done to our people.